By the way, folks, as we get closer to the end here, this is February. And I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if I've said this in the podcast before. It's interesting because I'm thinking about it now. I don't know if I've ever fucking said it, but I'm not biracial. I'm mixed. I have four major races within me, I guess you could say. I'm multicultural in a way. Puerto Rican, Black, Italian, and Chinese. So I have my mother's side is Puerto Rican and Italian, and my father's side is Puerto Rican, Black, and Chinese. I think I've said this on the first episode, but my name, AJ Orsini, comes from my parents. AJ, I'm junior from my dad's name, and Orsini was my mother's maiden name. That's where the Italian, Orsini is more Italian, so that's where I got it from my mom's side. And my actual last name is Ling. A lot of people don't know that. Ling. So I got a lot of different shit going on in here. When I tell you my childhood was very confusing, I'd be lying to you because I simplified everything. I got people in my family that speak Mandarin. I got people in my family that speak Italian and speak Spanish. My son is actually learning Mandarin and Spanish. Mandarin from the daycare and Spanish from at home. He's picking it up in bits and pieces. He's counting. My son is 3. He can count in 3 languages. Ha. So suck a fat one, folks. That's parenting right there from my wife. I didn't parent that. I don't know what's going on with my son. My son's already smarter than me, and he's 3. So, well, he'll be 3 this month, the 27th. Will be my son's B-Day. So that should be fun. But the reason why I bring it up is because it's February. And every time that I tell people that I love Black History Month, they always look at me and say, what the fuck do you care about Black History Month? Well, I'm black, motherfucker. My dad's blacker than you. I have an extremely black dad. And people can't tell that when they look at me, obviously. If I were to pull my pants down, you'd see it. But facially, you really can't see the black. I have many different features. I look Asian. People. I used to get a lot of shit when I was a kid. People thought I was a fucking Eskimo. No lie. They were like, "Oh, you're from Alaska," which is where the Azul thing started. But that's another time. That's a story for another day. I used to get Samoan. People say I look Samoan. When I got older in my teens, I looked like people were like, "You look like Taz." I look like Taz a little bit. So I've gotten a lot of fucking comparisons. Anyway. I do have some African American in me, or should I say my mom had some African American in her. Ha! But anywho, Black History Month is big. I work with kids, so to celebrate the lives and work of the African American communities, from the people who helped pave the way along the way, it's a good time. So I know you're not supposed to pick one month to like Black History, but it is designated as a time. So if you were going to sit back and learn more about the history, this would be the fucking time to do it. And when it comes to Black History Month, I will spin it back toward wrestling because there's always that one question that is always asked amongst wrestling fans and argued and debated until the end of fucking time. And that is, why on earth have we not had a black WWE champion yet? And that is a very, very muddy fucking conversation. But I'm going to purify it for you. Okay? We've had one, and I know people are not going to like it. Okay? But The Rock is black, folks. I know he's not 100% black. I know he embraces more of his Samoan heritage than his black heritage. I know all those things. I've heard them all. But here's the thing. Regardless of what The Rock can accept, regardless of what you can accept, that is a black man. He has African American DNA in his genes. If you look at The Rock's daddy, he blacker than black. Okay? He is African American. You cannot take away facts. I don't care what you feel. I don't care what you think. I don't care how you take it. It doesn't matter. Rock's mom took it. And that's why he's here. He is African American and of Samoan descent. That's what it is. But having said that, if I were to take your stance on this and eliminate The Rock from the conversation, and this is where I went ahead with this, you have a strong point. How the fuck have we not had a purebred, 100% African American WWE champion? Now, I've heard excuses on the other side. Well, if we had more marketable black men, we would have had a WWE champion. Vince loves money. This is what I hear all the time. Vince loves money. If he could make $1 on your black ass, he'd put the belt on you. Horse shit, and I can prove it. You ready? Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through, okay? I can prove it to you. He's had many black men who could draw a dime and could be a world champion. You know how I know? Because they already were. They already were. Let's start all the way back. You think Ernie Ladd could have been a world champion? You're damn straight he could have been. He was a champion everywhere else he went. You go a little deeper, a little. You think JYD could have been a world champion? Hell yeah, he could have been a world champion. He had already proved it in his territorial efforts. Everywhere he went, he was a top guy. He drew money. You think with the WWE machine behind him, he couldn't have drawn money? Of course he could have drawn money. You go a little further. Now, the next guy I'm going to mention is already in the WWE Hall of Fame and is recognized as the first actual world heavyweight champion of African American descent. And yes, I'm talking about the man himself, the great Ron Simmons. He was already a world champion. And if your excuse was, but he wasn't a very memorable world champion, he didn't draw any money as the world champion. Yeah, because he was working for WCW. And this is the Bill Watts WCW. The Jim Herd days. This is the early 90s days where they didn't know a wrist lock from a wristwatch. Okay, when there was so much infighting, they couldn't get it together. He was the token black guy. He didn't have to be, but that's what he ended up being. He was the black champion that they were trying to go against the grain. Look, see, we're not that kind of company anymore. Look, we gave the black guy the belt. Now, it just so happens, to be fair, that the guy that they were just trying to settle that debate with happened to be genuinely fucking talented. And here's the important part, folks, well respected. Not just from his peers, but the fans. Ron Simmons was legit. He's a Heisman Trophy winner, for Christ's sake. His number was retired at University of Florida. Florida State. Okay? He was a legit athlete. Real deal. Built like a truck. Looked like $1 million fucking bucks. Can shoot a goddamn promo. Now, if you're wondering to yourself, that current gimmick, where he was rocking, when he was fresh out of Doom, when he became WCW champion, that wouldn't have gotten over that big in the WWE. Okay, I'll give you that. I disagree, but I'll give you that. Now we fast forward to the WWE version of Ron Simmons, the Nation of Domination. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, the gladiator helmet fucking Farouk, no good. But when he became the big heel, Nation of Domination, getting all that heat, come on, brother. I still say they missed a boat. The chase would have been great. If Farouk would have beaten The Undertaker at that King of the Ring match that they had and became the WWF champion, are you fucking kidding me? He would have had great matches with all of their baby faces at that time. He was a legit world title contender at that point, and there's no fucking debating that. Just like Punk said in 2000 when he was doing the straight edge thing, the best bad guy should go against the best baby face, and that's what happened. Taker was the champion. He needed a credible heel to go against. They gave him Farouk. Okay? That was a sign of faith for his talent. Okay? But if you're going to explain to me that he shouldn't have been world champion at that point, horseshit. Okay? Psycho Sid was a champion during that era. You can't tell me that Psycho Sid and Farouk standing side by side with the audience reaction, one is a babyface for Sid, one is a heel for Farouk, that they're not on the same level. At least the same level. But Farouk was never treated as a top guy, in spite of the fact that he was respected as one, not just from the fans, but from his peers. Farouk was well respected. He could have been a world champion. He was already a world champion. He was tailor-made for that situation. Never pulled the trigger. I wonder why. Fast forward again. Okay? Now, some of us are going to disagree. But let's not look through this through 2020 vision. Let's look in the moment. Ahmed Johnson, you guys were thinking about it. Okay? Would have been a bad decision. Thank God you didn't. But you thought about it. Still didn't pull the trigger. I wonder why that was. Fast forward again. We have another African American who is a world champion. Booker T wins the WCW World Championship. The same championship that Ron Simmons won. Only he won it 5 times. Now, granted, he won it in an era that wasn't nearly as stacked as his earlier days when he was the TV champ and the U.S. champ randomly every other week. You know, he didn't beat the Hogans and the Goldbergs and the Kevin Nashes of the world and all those old school WCW guys. He beat younger talent. He beat Jeff Jarrett. He didn't have the talent pool he was going against, but he was a proven commodity, which is what we're talking about here. He was a proven commodity. He came to the WWF with the heavyweight championship of the world. And the WWE still can't tell me that he couldn't have been a WWE champion because they ended up giving him a world title anyway. When he became King Booker, they gave him the World's Heavyweight Championship. Mark Henry won the World's Heavyweight Championship, but they never held the WWE Championship. That was held for Cena. That was Cena's belt, the WWE Championship. It wasn't for anybody else. And they're not even the only ones. Bobby Lashley's going to get a rematch at that. He just might have a rematch at that because they were pushing him and grooming him for that early in his career. Now he's coming back. Maybe he gets another opportunity. I've never exactly seen Kofi Kingston as a possibility. I will never see him as a world champion. Big E, he's got a shot. Legitimately, folks, why haven't we? We've had the opportunity. You can't sell me on the fact that we haven't had any black guy who couldn't draw a dime. Bullshit. You've had a lot of black guys in a lot of high-profile situations. And trust. You've trusted them. You just didn't trust them enough. You just didn't have the guts to pull the trigger. Triple H did. He made Big E the NXT champion. The black guys, the Japanese guys, the Hispanic guys, everyone gets a fair shot in NXT. So maybe the window of opportunity is open. Maybe now with 2 Japanese performers winning the Royal Rumbles in the same night, maybe cards on the table, all bets are off. Maybe now will be the opportunity for that to happen. I don't know. But here on Black History Month, as we go and progress, the names that I just threw at you, those guys are legends. Okay? Some not so good, some great. But all legends. And all paved the way for guys that are coming up right now. So, big shout out to those guys. Thank you for opening the doors up for me as well to be here. I'm getting ready to take this some bitch home.